These days, finding a garden flat in North London on a tight budget is certainly a challenge.
And everyone's getting a bit hot under the collar.
Really, you don't comprehend it. She is really upset that
We
don't
there's
understand.
A parking bay,
Yeah, but
10 feet.
Yeah,
right.
but Phil, she doesn't want that.
This week we're in North London to find a new home for independently minded Laura Cream.
Laura's a passionate believer in that owning her own place is going to open up a whole new way of life.
For her, this has meant 10 years of sharing with her sister and saving up. But now she's on the starting blocks. She's raring to go, and it's down to us to put her plan into action.
I would love to have my own space, which I am entirely in control of. I can decorate however I like, I can invite whoever I like, I can not see whoever I like.
Laura might be itching for her independence now, but joining forces with her sister Julia 10 years ago and buying this 2-bedroom modern flat was a smart move.
In that time, it's tripled in price, and just 2 weeks after putting it up for sale, they accepted an offer of £235,000. Laura finally has enough capital to buy her own place. The time for shared living is over.
I don't have any regrets about having lived here the length of time I have. It's been a really great flat. I love it. I'm sorry to see it go. But now, I'm absolutely desperate to get out of here.
For Laura, this is big news.
It's fantastic for Laura, and it's going to give her a whole new way of life. And I mean, she lives with her sister at the moment. She's a grown-up. She's not living at home with her mum and dad. But your own flat, there's nothing like your own flat. You're the boss of every room.
You just love being the boss.
Yep, Phil's spot on. And it's Laura's ambition to become her own boss. She has worked in marketing, but with her own space, she wants to develop her paper marbling hobby into a business.
I mean, if I can produce this in my little kitchen in a 2-bed flat, if I've got a proper studio, then I know I can do a lot better than this as well.
In the third most expensive city in the world, wanting your own property and having it are two very different things.
They have an offer accepted on their flat and a date set for the move in 6 weeks' time.
I'm keen to get cracking. I need to make sure Laura's brief is realistic. She wants a 2-bedroom garden flat for £290,000. Nailing the right place is all about keeping your ear to the ground and making friends with the agents.
Looks like flirting to me. While Kirstie does whatever it takes to suss out the local market, I'm off to get a fuller brief from Laura. She's based in Tufnell Park, which is an area popular with young professionals, and is where she wants to stay.
Hi, Phil.
Laura, morning to you.
Come in.
Thank you very much. So this is home.
This is home.
For now.
Although purpose-built blocks like this might not have the charm of Victorian conversions, they have good proportions and generously sized bedrooms.
With its long lease and fresh feel, I'm not surprised that it sold quicker than other flats in the area. Though with her move-out deadline so close, we really need to get our skates on.
At the moment, Laura, this is the extent of your gardening up here.
This is it, yeah.
Long and short is we've got to get you down there.
Yeah, please get me down there.
Is there anything else that's an absolute must?
Definitely need 2 bedrooms because hoping to rent one out if I ever need to. Definitely all on one level. I can be flexible on whether there are a few steps here and there. Definitely able to park very close to the front door.
OK.
Laura has trouble with her hips, which sometimes makes walking difficult. So that's determined many of her criteria.
Mind you, in that Victorian conversion she wants, she might have to forget the dimensions of the large double bedrooms in her modern flat.
Finding her some space so she can focus on her paper marbling business is also a crucial part of the brief.
It's a realistic budget. There won't be lots to look at, that I assure you, but I'm confident.
Time to talk through the details with Kirstie, but it's not long before she's nipping my ear.
It's going to be a breeze this week, Kirst.
What on earth makes you think that 290 is all we've got?
No, that's a huge amount of money. We're in our patch, know it well.
Phil, it's not your patch. You come from South London where everything's dirt
Can't be
cheap.
that
Around here,
different.
290 is not going to buy you
Just
that much.
because you live around it, it's a bit posh.
No, it's not a bit posh. It's a bit pricey.
Honestly, Phil, sometimes you are the limit. This area might be packed with the Victorian terraces that Laura loves, but parking will prove a major problem. Also, the market might well be sluggish in general, but in her price bracket, it's rampant. My groundwork has shed light on other problems too.
2 bedrooms, ground floor, own garden, must not be split level. That means that she can only look at about 20% of what's available in the market. This does make things a little tricky.
Nothing's impossible, Kirst, but we are going to have to pull out all the stops. There are so many places to rule out on practicalities alone.
While Phil conducts the first viewing by himself, I'm continuing with the hunt. And for the record, you can do a lot worse than flirt with the agents.
Well, I've got high hopes for this first flat. It's in the very heart of Laura's favourite area, Tufnell Park. It has free parking outside, and though only a few minutes from local shops, it feels a million miles away from the busy streets and traffic Laura's so keen to escape from.
This is prime North London property stock, and these houses hold their value well. It's on the market for £299,950, 10k over Laura's budget.
But I'm certain there's room to negotiate.
I'm obviously still trying to work you out and tweak the brief because I need to be on the phone to Kirstie saying, no, cancel that, go and look at these sorts of things.
I love the feel of this street, and I feel safe, and it feels homely, and it feels welcoming.
It's a lovely flat. Let's go and have an explore.
This is a substantial conversion with the period details and charm that Laura is looking for.
The kitchen opens out into a large living room with great views of the street. The second bedroom is bright and could provide a good working space for Laura's marbling.
Steps from the master bedroom lead out towards a really lovely garden.
Fairly traditional layout, all on one level. Being on the raised ground floor, you've got a stunning bay window.
I think you could make it brighter as well, make it seem brighter. It's quite masculine in feel at the moment.
Along the corridor is the master bedroom with ensuite bathroom and the all-important second bedroom.
I'm going to be really interested to see how this compares in size with other things that you've looked at and what you've got in your mind's eye.
Probably, I would say it's on the smaller side.
You've been living in a modern property, and we're now looking at period properties, which means we're looking at converted properties, essentially, which means there's always going to be a slightly awkward room. Come and have a look out the back. There's no doubt that the garden's an excellent size for a small flat in this part of town.
This is a stunning property and ticks a lot of boxes.
It is beautiful. Lots of things about it are right, but I'm just not sure the space is there.
So you like it, but
I like it, but possibly for someone else.
Ooh, that hurts. This is a beautiful flat in her perfect area.
But she is going to have to try and forget the dimensions of her more modern flat.
This was one of the best places out of over 30 viewings. While Laura has a final look around, it's time to check in with Kirstie.
Is that all on one level? Could work, could work. Let's put it in the mix. We need all we can at the moment.
One of my contacts has come up trumps. I've been given a tip-off about a place that's not even on the market yet. So I'm off to meet Phil and Laura.
This flat's in Archway, a short distance from Tufnell Park. Its leafy back streets are one of the most recent areas in North London to come in for a real overhaul.
But there are still bargains to be had. Buying here would be a smart investment. And when it's finished, this flat will be on the market for £280,000. There's soon to be a residence parking scheme implemented in the area, and it could be the place for Laura to let her imagination run riot.
So the Archway tube is literally 2 minutes walk that way, so from a transport perspective, this couldn't be better.
This ground floor flat has been stripped back to basics, and seeing it at this stage in the development is a great opportunity.
If Laura wanted this flat, she could have it completed to entirely her own specification. It's all on one level inside, with the 2 bedrooms towards the rear.
Though the garden is on the small side, it's got the potential to be a lovely outdoor space running off from the kitchen.
And you can see straight away that it's very unfinished.
It's a blank canvas at the moment, and I think it could make a fantastic first home.
It's a chance to use your creativity, your imagination into the carpets or the wooden floors or what goes up on the walls in the kitchen, in the bathroom. Laura, how do you feel about looking around a flat in this condition?
It's not a problem, and I've always said I was happy to take on work. I like using my imagination.
But you've got to think it's worth taking on the work, and Laura doesn't seem very fired up about this place yet. She's keeping pretty quiet.
If you ended up liking this, you would get a flat that's got new windows, new plumbing, new electrics, the works. Kirstie always pulls me out when I say maintenance free. It's not maintenance free, but it's maintenance reduced heavily.
But would I have any space?
We're back here again. She's refusing to let go of the dimensions of her modern flat.
It's all very well Phil and I going on about this being a good buy, but unless we can persuade Laura of that...
You're the one that knows your use of space. If you can afford to go with something because it's got that extra space and you know you're going to be spending so much time in your home that extra space really personally benefits you, then we should skedaddle.
We should probably skedaddle.
Okay, cool.
Not so cool, Kirstie. Laura's dismissed both of the properties on space alone. If it's a 2-bed flat with dimensions to die for, plus parking, plus garden she wants, we're going to have to stretch the brief and a bit of patience.
For our next property, we're going off-brief. It's in Kentish Town, and there are great amenities right on the doorstep. But there's no getting away from it. It's on a busy old road.
But we think behind the front door, this spacious flat more than makes up for its immediate location.
It's a bit of a change from where we've just come from. What are your thoughts about the road?
I know this road well and I use it a lot, and like I know the people, the shopkeepers, they're very friendly. There's quite a community feel. So the downside though is double deckers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a big major route going down to King's Cross.
That may well be true, but there's no way I'm going to let Laura be put off by the exterior.
This property is an absolute gem with buckets of charm and period details. With its own front door, this is the largest flat we've seen so far.
It's been immaculately done up and well cared for, with a brand new kitchen already in place.
The second bedroom is a great size and could easily be rented out. And there's a fantastic shed in the garden which is just begging to be converted into an artist studio for Laura's paper marbling business.
Shared living would feel a million miles away.
There is a residence parking bay directly outside, though on this busy road she would be competing with other people to use it.
But it looks like there's the possibility of off-road parking. This would involve negotiation with the council and with the neighbours. But at first glance, it's encouraging to see a precedent has already been set in the street.
On the market for $299,950, it is at the top of Laura's budget, but I'm certain there's a deal to be struck.
Now, I am wildly enthusiastic about this sitting room.
I love the high ceilings.
It's got a fantastic high ceiling.
Yeah.
It's got that really pretty, small, but I think very striking fireplace. What's your first impression?
It's really good so far, also
Right.
because I'm excited about the thought of having a parking space.
Yeah.
That just makes me think, yeah.
Sociable kitchen, it's a big kitchen. In good nick, plenty of storage space. Great to have your friends round.
Perfect.
It is. Perfect's a good word. I can live with perfect.
And what about this for garden?
It's a fantastic size.
In fact, it's so vast that it happily houses this huge shed with excellent potential to be the dream studio for Laura's paper marbling.
You were talking earlier about having a workshop was
Yeah.
the sort of fantasy. That was the end goal.
Yeah.
With this, could you see it happening here?
Completely. I mean, I like the idea of having it separate from the house, so it's a complete extension.
To be able to have a studio down here would be fantastic. It would certainly kickstart her business ambitions and it would add value to the flat.
Having the studio frees up the second bedroom to be just that, either a guest bedroom or a rental opportunity.
And obviously the master bedroom at the back enjoys the view of the garden.
It's quite difficult to get a sense of the scale because that is just
It's just
so
huge.
enormous.
It's so enormous. It's ridiculous. You really need a built-in cupboard here, which goes up to the ceiling, is painted white.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Sort
is
of
a
blends in with the
great,
room a bit.
big, light-absorbing horror.
It seemed to me that this ticks so many of the boxes.
It definitely does, and there's an extra one that I hadn't really thought of. I'd said I wanted a quiet residential street, but having all the newsagent on my doorstep, I mean, I would be able to walk. I wouldn't have to take the car to get the newspaper to buy a pint of milk, which makes me that bit more independent.
This is brilliant, our first real contender. But my worry is that there's no guarantee we'll secure the off-street parking. Plus, she's always said she wants to live on a quiet, leafy street, and I'm determined to find her one.
Okay, see you there.
So our final property could change everything. By branching out into a whole new area, I think we can fulfil all of Laura's criteria.
We're going 8 miles west to Queen's Park. This area has always been something of a hidden gem. It's like a village in the capital.
There's everything on offer here. A real sense of community, open green spaces, and quiet leafy streets with plenty of available parking.
But all this comes at a price. This flat is on the market for $309,950. Though Laura's top budget is $290, I'm confident this price is negotiable.
Laura showed herself to be canny in property by buying with her sister all those years ago. I think investing in this area is a great opportunity.
Right, in you come.
At its end of terrace, there's an extra window, which means the front room is flooded with light.
The kitchen leads out onto the garden, and the second bedroom is a really good size.
The master bedroom is quite simply stunning, with French windows that open onto the outside space where there's plenty of scope for Laura to create her own ideal garden.
It's a very, very nice flat. Beautifully presented. Immediate impressions?
Very light. I mean, it is a beautiful sunny day.
Honestly, Laura, are you excited about being in a new area?
Yeah, I am. I did feel exciting driving up to somewhere I didn't know, definitely.
I mean, this is the most expensive flat we are seeing. Have a look around it, see what you think. And I'm a great believer in just offering what you've got, offering what's available. You've not lost a penny if you make an offer on something. And I think that's the thing you have to hold on to. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you look around and you like it, chance you're on.
Okay, show me more.
Second bedroom. This we're a bit smug about.
Because?
Because you can definitely fit a double bed in this bedroom.
Yeah, you can.
Now this obviously is the master bedroom.
It's beautiful. Feels like a seaside cottage.
It does, really does. It's a lovely, lovely
Tranquil,
room.
peaceful, light, and access to the garden.
I think this is a good outdoor space. It's not as green as some of the gardens we've seen, but it's very pretty.
But despite all its charms, I'm not sure Laura's loving it.
It's a beautiful flat. I've been trying to put the other one out of my mind as I look round, but I'm not managing it. It's hard to beat.
That's a
It
great
is
point.
hard to beat.
Can we go back there?
Of course we can go back there.
There's no holding her back now. Of the 4 places we've seen, it's the flat on the busy road Laura's fallen for.
After 10 years of sharing and saving, this is a major decision for Laura. And there's some serious work for Phil and I to do.
There's already a residence parking bay immediately outside, but Laura's desperate to know whether she could use the front garden as her own off-street parking space.
This means getting permission to drop the curb. While Phil puts in a call to the council, we're off to check out the benefits of that busy road.
This is incredibly handy to have. What kind of difference would this make to your life?
Complete transformation. Might be the biggest change, apart from losing the stairs.
So a flat that we nearly didn't show you because of the busy road is the one and represents the most complete transformation of your life.
That I wouldn't have thought of.
It's fantastic that the local shops will open up everything for Laura.
But we're off to a bad start with the council.
So you're saying it's not impossible, but it would take time? Or you're saying it's pretty unlikely?
There's no guarantee of permission to drop the curb to allow for off-street parking, even though there's a precedent down the street. And there's another problem.
The immediate area outside the front door is communally owned by the whole building. So you wouldn't be able to put your own private parking space there, I'm afraid.
Well, my heart's gone through the floor because if I can't park, then I don't feel ready to put in an offer, to be honest.
This is so frustrating for Laura because in every other way this flat is perfect for her. There has to be some way forward.
We're contacting all the neighbours and pressing on with the council, but this is going to take time.
It's impossible to get a firm answer today.
Well, her whole attitude to this flat has been completely changed.
There is a parking bay opposite.
Yeah, Phil, you don't understand. I don't think you comprehend the nature of her problem. Really, you don't comprehend it. She is really upset that
we don't
understand.
There's a parking bay 10 feet
Yeah,
away.
but Phil, she doesn't want that. She only wants it if she can park outside the front. Anyone can park.
We're not going to find out today. Policy is no. They will come and do a site visit next week. It can take up to 20 weeks.
This is a potential disaster for Laura. We can't afford to wait 5 months for an answer. She's moving out in less than 6 weeks and this place isn't going to hang around for long.
We've got to keep her focused and stay positive about the parking issue. With the precedent set here, I'm certain it can be sorted.
You know how conservative local authorities are. They always say things like, well, we need 20 weeks to make the decision, but they make decisions sooner. I mean, my experience in life is that it is about pushing and pushing and pushing. This is the right flat for you. I'm not letting go of that. Not without a major, major full-on fight.
But there's no need for fighting talk if Laura isn't confident about this property. We can reassure her about parking, but she also needs to have another good look around.
It offers a brilliant opportunity to kickstart her independent life. But has this drama deterred her?
If I could wave a magic wand and get the parking issue sorted out, do you still feel as you did this morning that this is the flat for you?
Yeah. I now can't imagine finding something better.
Laura's clear she does not want to let the flat go. She's prepared to fight for the parking and make an offer. Now we've got to get it for the right price.
It's on the market for 50 quid shy of 300 grand. Laura's maximum budget is £290,000. So as ever, tactics are going to be crucial.
I think £5,000 needs to be held back.
I think 285 is the right value for the flat. It's how we end up there.
How would you feel about going with 284?
I would be happy to go at 284, but I would be slightly afraid of being pushed to 286. I just think let's get the whole thing bundled up. Okay. Let's go in at 285, explain exactly why we're doing it. She wants
to go her own way. Let's go with 285 then. Let's just do it.
Matthew, hi, it's Kirstie, Allsopp. We're not putting our first foot forward. We're jumping in with both feet at 285,000.
This has got to work. If this offer's rejected, there's nothing else in the pot to negotiate with.
Thanks so much. Okay, brilliant. Bye.
And when do you think he'll come back to us?
She's away. I wouldn't have thought it would be this evening.
Laura's found the flat she loves, but it looks like we're going to be on tenterhooks until the morning.
Or so we thought.
Matthew. All right, I'm okay. How are you? Yeah, okay, fantastic. He said, we've got a deal.
Fantastic.
I thought I'd have to wait at least overnight and not sleep, and thank you.
It's a pleasure. I would say any time. Oh, that's my mum.
A wonderful result in the end. We have managed to secure the off-street parking.
It just shows if you pursue what you want, you can achieve your goals.
This week we're on Jersey, hunting for a fabulous family home for Nick and Katrina, and we've got quite a selection.
But when we move from the fabulous to the
absolutely outrageous,
it's not only our house hunters that are confused.
It's a Pandora's box we've opened.
This is what they asked us to find. We've shown them something.
Maybe we should never have shown them that other house.
And it's a lovely house, there's no denying. But it's not what they actually set out to find.
Tonight, we've got a canny property duo. Nick and Katrina want to make a solid investment in their future.
They've decided to make long-term plans, and buying a family home here on Jersey, Nick's island home, is the first step.
Because he works in the island's construction industry, Nick's got his professional ear to the ground.
And he's heard that with the planned relaxation of Jersey's housing restrictions, there'll be hundreds of affordable new flats going up. So he and his girlfriend Katrina have sold up and cashed in.
I've been really impressed by these two. They've read the local market brilliantly. They've worked out that this is a great time to be selling Nick's flat. They could have waited a couple more years, saved up a bit more cash, but they understand there's a lot more flats being built at the moment, which means greater competition in the future. Now, timing is everything in the property market, and of course, choosing the right time to sell is key to making the most out of any investment.
But there's another motive behind Katrina and Nick selling up.
In time, they want a family, and his flat is tiny.
I bought this when I was single. I didn't have any intentions of meeting anyone like at that time anyway. As a bachelor pad, it was, absolutely fantastic. Loved it. So.
Just not enough room for the girlfriend.
And that's the problem. Small space is a big issue.
It's a lovely place.
It is a lovely place.
Just that it's just too small. We want a bigger kitchen, we want somewhere to entertain everyone.
So they want to upgrade to a 3-bedroom house and know that now's the time to do it.
Their budget is £390,000, and for that, they want a big kitchen, a garage, and plenty of space to grow.
Well, searching on jerseys a first for us, and things work differently here.
I've got a basic idea of what Katrina and Nick are after, but I also need to get to grips with the vagaries of the system. On the upside, there are huge tax advantages on Jersey, including low stamp duty.
On the downside, there are restrictions on who can buy on Jersey. While Phil's off doing some more Bergerac-style investigations, I head to Nick and Katrina's.
Ah, the boxes.
Yeah, we're in the midst of packing at the moment.
Nick bought this one-bed town flat 2 years ago for 171 grand, and it was a wise move.
Within a week of his flat hitting the market, he accepted a cash offer for 186,000 and pocketed 15 grand to put down on their new place.
So what are their new priorities?
I absolutely love this kitchen, but it's just too small. I want one of those really big ovens, you know, really nice.
Right, okay. What's his priority? Yours is clearly the kitchen.
I think his has got to be a garage.
Right.
He really wants a garage.
So Katrina wants a big kitchen to entertain in.
Nick wants a garage for his boys' toys, and we need to get them a lot more space.
All sounds pretty simple, but as I've been finding out, the Jersey market isn't.
Buying property here is complicated. If you don't have millions in the bank, you'll need to qualify as a Jersey resident.
Being a local, Nick's got no problem, but as Katrina isn't, she won't be able to put her name on the deeds. So my advice is for them to get a legal contract drawn up.
My advice is to get married.
Well, first we need to find the right home for them. Even though Jersey hasn't suffered the boom and bust pattern of the mainland, prices are still sky high. So Katrina and Nick's budget's a bit of a challenge.
While Phil continues to get to know the lay of the land, I'm showing our house hunters the first appointment in the seaside parish of St Clement.
It's a real find in these parts, and within budget at 375 grand.
As these guys have never bought a house together before, it'll be interesting to see just how well they know each other.
We're coming to see this little development over here.
It's a fantastic view of the coast, isn't it? St Clement's.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good start. Keen to see inside?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, thank you.
On paper, this 3-bedroom end of terrace ticks a lot of boxes. It comes with a garage for Nick, a decent-sized garden and fantastic views.
Now, Katrina really wanted a big kitchen, and although this one's practical and new, there's no hiding the fact that it's not huge.
But this could be sweetened by the size of the rest of the house. It's quite a step up from a one-bed flat.
Lounge?
Lounge diner.
Well, in comparison with the size of ours, slightly bigger, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, scores points so far?
Yeah.
But one thing, the kitchen's not attached to the dining room.
The kitchen is not attached to the dining room. If this house is going to fall down anywhere, it's going to be on the kitchen.
Right.
Okay.
Time to test just how much size matters for Katrina.
Definitely too small.
Definitely too small, yeah.
Too small?
Yeah.
Is that it? End of story?
Pretty much.
So the small kitchen looks like the deal breaker. But could the garage save the day?
Now, what do you reckon to the size of this?
It's actually a really good sized garage.
It is.
I'm quite impressed. I like her cooking, so I'm going to have to go with a bigger
Might have to
kitchen.
compromise on that one.
Well, that is handy because I've come up with something that might be closer to the mark for Katrina, but perhaps not for Nick. It's this lovely traditional granite cottage, on the market at 359 grand. So I'm off to meet the guys, feeling pretty confident, even though there is a compromise.
Just before we go into the house, we'll tackle the outside and the storage and the garages, because you see there isn't a garage.
There isn't a garage, no.
But there is a small shed here. There are 4 parking spaces, believe it or not,
Right.
assigned to this house. So perfectly possible to put a bigger shed or even apply for planning permission for a garage.
This place is dated in some respects, but the big country-style kitchen has Katrina written all over it.
The living room next door is a great space for entertaining, and with all its features feels homely. Upstairs is cosy and could be perfect for a family.
Now, I know you were looking for a big kitchen. It's obviously far bigger than the house Kirstie first showed you, but is it what you were looking for out of a kitchen?
I think it is, yeah, but what we would do, we'd rip the kitchen out, have something like a lot lighter, a lot airier.
It'd be a very simple kitchen to improve because you've got the bare bones of which to do so.
I'm a bit disappointed at their reactions. I thought they'd love the size of this one.
Obviously, we've still got a lot to learn about our couple, but it feels like they're not singing from the same hymn sheet yet.
But I do like it. Yeah. It's got so much character.
It's got a lot of character, yeah. I'm a bit...
You're not sure?
Mixed thoughts about it, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Just something about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now Nick's not happy.
So, in conclusion, ladies and gents, is this the house for you?
No.
No.
No. It's extremely rustic inside, but a little bit too rustic for us.
Bit too rustic. Right, we may have to rethink. We're going to have to find them something spacious, but with more contemporary interiors.
Much as suspected, we've struggled to get all their requirements within budget. But we have managed to find something in the picturesque parish of St Martin, and I've got my money on it.
Welcome to the next one, an old farmhouse. In fact, an old potato barn, to be truthful.
Yeah, it's got a lot of character. It's nice.
This house has been newly developed and has a bit of a topsy-turvy layout. 2 great bedrooms and a shower room are on the ground floor.
And the real draw is on the first floor, a huge open-plan living and kitchen area. And on the top floor is the master bedroom with its own very smart ensuite.
Seeing as the kitchen has been a curse up to now, it's best we tackle that first. And if this one doesn't please Katrina, I'm catching the boat back home.
Is that a big enough kitchen for you?
Like that.
Who wanted a big sociable room?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's all right, isn't it?
At last, we appear to be on the right lines.
How much is it?
Yeah, she already wants to put a price in already.
Go on, Phil.
It's 359,000.
Really? So what's wrong with the rest of it then?
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. It's got an unusual layout.
Right.
2 bedrooms down below, one above.
Huge bedrooms down below.
Sounds good.
Okay. Like the kitchen.
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to take Nick downstairs to discuss the only downside of this property.
Rather you than me, Kirst.
That's your garden.
Right.
Not huge,
No,
but nice and contained and very child-friendly. On the other side of that will be a carport against the far barn, a shelter for the car, and a parking space in front of the house.
Right.
That's your lot.
That might be the compromise, I think.
That might be the compromise. I'm glad you said compromise.
Yeah, because, well, we've got a huge big kitchen upstairs.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic, entertaining area, brilliant.
What do you think Katrina's thinking?
I think she feels the same way. I think it's absolutely stunning. I really love it. Yeah.
So it's the best so far?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm gobsmacked that Nick's caved in so easily. I wonder what Katrina will think.
Is there going to be a problem with not having a garage?
No, I can compromise on no garage.
Really?
If it's got a carport, then fine.
That's a major step.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I can't believe he's just said that. I really thought that was going to be so much hard work.
Bingo! We've found them something they both like, and they seem to have come a long way in learning what makes each other tick.
We found another property that could well set the cat amongst the pigeons.
It's in the parish of busy St Helier, but it's also off the beaten track. To look at, this place seems completely out of their reach.
It's got grandeur, it's got history, and at £450,000, it's some way over their £390 budget.
But for Katrina and Nick, this move is for life, and we wouldn't be showing it to them if we didn't think a deal could be done.
That looks really expensive, that place. That is so traditional Jersey, well through and through, yeah. That looks big bucks.
Strangely enough, it's been on the market for 2 years.
You're joking.
No.
Which is why we think we can pull it in within your budget.
This amazing find dates back to 1678 and has been sitting empty since developers got their hands on it.
It is Grade 1 listed, which means any alterations are subject to major restrictions. But with a house like this, I wouldn't change a thing.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I like that.
I really wasn't expecting that.
Wait till they see the rest of it.
With high ceilings and period features throughout, this house is certainly grand. Plus, it has a kitchen to die for. There's more space here than Katrina and Nick would even know what to do with.
He is completely silent.
Yeah. That's unreal.
Could you see yourself living in this type
Could you see having your mates in this dining room?
Yes.
I think I'd have to get a whole different class of mates.
I'm not surprised at Nick's reaction. Coming from a one-bedroom flat, this is a lot to take on board.
But I wouldn't be doing my duty if I didn't point out the pitfalls of buying a listed building. So I'm taking them upstairs to one of the bedrooms.
Oh, wow. It's unbelievable.
This is the room that the grade 1 listing really applies to. The panelling has to stay, can't decorate it, can't do anything. This panel here has actually been restored from the original back in 1678.
It's absolutely stunning.
Well, the restrictions don't seem to be putting them off. So onwards to Katrina's favourite area.
Oh my goodness. Hey.
Room for a party in here.
Absolutely outrageous.
I know.
Look at the size of that oven.
I know.
I dream about ovens like that.
The kitchen is amazing. Frankly, so is the whole house. But we need to get down to brass tacks.
It was originally on the market at 575,000, but it didn't sell. And it's now on the market at 450,000, and it hasn't sold. And I think that we can get it for the top end of your 390 budget.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess it's worth a shot if we...
It is. What have you got to lose?
Absolutely.
If I lived in Jersey, you would not be looking around this house, I'll tell you that for a start.
It would be easy to get carried away here, but Kirstie, it is important to remember that a house of this size will come with bigger upkeep and maintenance costs.
Oh, don't put a dampener on it yet, Phil.
I could see you loving this. You really would, wouldn't you?
I would.
So if you and I were a couple, Phil, and we saw this house, would we be buying it?
You'd be telling me I was buying it.
Is that what's going on upstairs?
Yes. It's so not what they set out to find, but it is incredibly impressive.
I feel sorry for the lad. He hasn't got a snowball's chance in hell of not buying this house, has he?
Hold your horses, Allsopp. This place is great, but it is also a big decision. The last house was the easier option, so I'm not entirely sure that the contract's signed just yet.
It has really thrown me, absolutely thrown me to bits.
He looks a worried man.
I'm worried now.
I don't know whether you've worried him more or she's worried him more, but he looks very scared.
Poor Nick's just got to remember that it's still only a 3-bedroom house. It's just not one they were expecting.
They've now seen the best 4 houses on the market, and it's a 2-house race.
So first up, we're back to see the converted farmhouse in St Martin.
They loved this place. The quirky upside-down layout and even the lack of garage wasn't a problem.
Katrina, are you pleased to be back?
I am, but I think my heart is somewhere else today.
Is your heart lifted coming back here?
It has, yeah. It's. I really like this place. I mean, like, you can walk into this, and it's like all like ready to go, basically.
It's a safe option.
It is a safe option, yeah. The other place, yeah, for me, is still a bit scary.
It might be the safer option, but we still need to look at some of the practicalities.
We are going to do the lying down on the floor trick, okay? Come with me, okay? Just so that you can have a laugh. Sit down.
The fact that this house is empty makes it hard to imagine living here. So there's only one thing for it.
Now that is where your bed will come to. Now, do you see how much space you've got for a cupboard?
Loads.
You can't add value to it, and you need to recognise that you're paying something of a developer's premium, but it suits what you're looking for now. I think the question for us to really think about today is whether it's going to suit you in 3-5 years' time. Bedrooms are on different levels. If you have children, where are you going to stay? Where are they going to stay? When you come to sell it, if you want to sell it to a family, will it suit them?
I suspect we could offer advice till the Jersey cows come home. But it seems there are still 2 houses very much in the running.
I love this place. I really do.
I don't think any of us were in doubt that you liked it, but Katrina, how about you being back here?
I just feel that we've got so much more that we can put into something.
Bet?
No bets. Much more. I'm really torn. I've never been torn like this before. It's a Pandora's box we've opened.
This is what they asked us to find. We've shown them something.
Maybe we should never have shown them that other house.
And it's a lovely house, there's no denying. But it's not what they actually set out to find. So it's completely fine.
But it's there. It's there.
Well, we may have confused them, and ourselves for that matter, but it's been a really positive second viewing. And this, the safer option, is by no means written off yet.
But there'll be no decisions made until we've been back to see the one that set their hearts aflutter.
Look at Katrina's face.
Look at your face.
You're just happy that you've got him back, haven't you?
I am. I just love it. I'd love it.
I've arranged a meeting with a developer to talk about the history of the development, why it hasn't sold, all that sort of thing. So you carry on in.
Yesterday it was quite clear that Nick was terrified of this place, and who could blame him? It's such a giant step up from a one-bed flat. So it's my job to calm the poor bloke down.
The great thing about this house is that, unlike the previous property, the day you move in, you add value. Mm-hmm. Because the reason this house isn't selling is because it's empty and it's scary and it feels unfinished. And people do not know how they would utilise the space.
That's what's been scaring you.
It has been, yeah.
Anyone would be suspicious of buying a house that's been sitting empty for so long. So in my meeting with a developer, I really want to get to the bottom of why it hasn't shifted.
We hear it's been on the market a long time. I was hoping you might shed a bit of light on what the struggle is to sell it.
Because it's a granite listed building, it was a 2-year project. So when we started, the market in these sort of buildings was a lot more buoyant. And like everywhere else, Jersey has suffered from the fact that economics have changed and the price of these properties have sort of struggled to sell.
So no hidden horrors, but unusually for the Jersey market, it's dropped in value. It looks like a case of wrong project, wrong time.
It doesn't seem so scary and frightening now.
What, in the daylight?
In the daylight, yeah. I'm starting to get ideas. You've taken the edge off it.
Nick's beginning to see the light.
Maybe so, Kirstie, but the other house is still in the running. So is it going to be the easy option or the slightly more complicated?
Either way, these guys will be homeless soon, so they really need to make a decision.
I'm really happy here. I would love to make this our home, and I want to put an offer in. And I think if it doesn't get accepted and we ended up going with the other property, then that's a different scenario. We're not supposed to have it. But I would really like to.
Do you want to give it a shot?
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to put an offer in this place as well.
You do?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed now.
Great news, they love it. But now we've got to get it for them within budget. No pressure.
This house has been on the market for 2 years and has already been dropped in price. So we're going to try and drop it again.
I talked to the developer particularly about why it hadn't sold, and I tried to put him on the spot. I think at the end of the day, it buttons down to price. If that was on the market at the right price, it would be snapped up.
The developer already knows we're interested, so this is all about tactics. And I say we leave it a few days before putting an offer in.
Personally, I think as a negotiating tool, it would work.
I think it would be good.
In our favour. Reduce some expectation.
Yeah. We'll go along with that, I think.
So the call goes in and the expectations are lowered. But 24 hours later and Nick's collywobbles are back with a vengeance.
Great, bye.
I take it that was Katrina. What news?
Guess what news? He went with the more conservative option.
Saw it coming.
Yeah.
Saw it coming.
That house held so many fears for him.
I can't put my finger on it, but I just can't see me in there. But with a coach house, that's the one for me.
And only 5 weeks later, they're in.
After the big manor house that you fell in love with, but yeah, I think we've made the right decision.
Yeah.
Wow.
This week we've been called in by a lucky couple who have just scooped 1.8 million on the lottery and want to splash out on a swanky new pad. So you ask, why do they need our help? Well, even though it's a heck of a lot of money, it could easily disappear if it was to be spent unwisely. We've got to find them a great house that will keep their coffers safe. These guys will be expecting the works, but they might not be able to get quite as much as they think.
I'm seeing these brilliant houses, but they're just not quite there for what I'm hoping to get for my money.
What's more, I'm on my own. Kirstie's got the flu, so it promises to be quite a journey.
IT consultant Roger. His wife Lara, a teacher, plus baby Ruby are the Griffiths. A young family living in a 3-bed semi in the pretty town of Boston Spa near Leeds. 2 months ago, their numbers came up, literally.
Before the win, their combined wages just covered their outgoings on this place. But now, nearly £2 million richer, their first thought is to buy a bigger home. But the lottery win has been a bolt from the blue. They're moving up into another strata of housing they know nothing about and need our help to show them what their options are.
You know, I've always wanted to know what it feels like to win the lottery, so I'm hugely looking forward to meeting this couple. You've got to tell me the story. I've always wanted to talk to somebody about this.
Let me just grab this for this. This is the email that I got initially, which you get if you win a tenner, if you play on the...
Dear Roger, we have some exciting news about the ticket that you bought. So you think I might have won a tenner.
And I log in, and normally if you win a tenner, your account balance shows sort of £10. It's £1,835,000. and at that point I was like, oh my God.
Well, let's talk about the house, because that's, that's what I'm here to try and help sort out. What are we looking for? How much?
We want a house with a nice big kitchen that we can socialise in, a big bathroom that's got a lot of light and space, 4 bedrooms.
And budget-wise, for that, we've looked at my bottom level is 550, and we agreed to begin with at 6.
Your bottom level?
Yeah, to go to 650.
This is the problem. I'm completely extravagant, and he's tight as you come. So you've got two extremes, and you can be our middle.
Okay.
It's clear why they've called us in. They're still reeling from the win, and their heads must be all over the place. Plus, they're poles apart. Roger's king cautious.
But Lara's attitude is, if you've got it, spend it. Blimey.
There's only a handful of these made, and you probably don't get it. But this makes me very happy indeed.
Lara might be happy with her handbags, but Roger needs some reassuring.
You're quite worried about this, aren't you? I mean, it's a lot to take on. So.
Yeah, it is. I think the whole thing is a lot to take on, and I'm still coming to terms with it.
1.8 is enough to change your life, but it's not enough to make you wealthy forever and ever. So we've got to get this right. But at the same time, you're only going to, this is the long-term family home.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing it again. So you need to spend enough to get what you want, but not too much to blow all the cash.
That's absolutely it. That's your brief, yeah. Well, we've got the best in the country. Right, actually, but Kirstie couldn't make it. So we got the second best. No, I'm joking.
And talking of Kirstie...
Hiya.
I hope you're comfortable there, Kirstie. You've got Richard and Judy on the box, have you?
No, it's not on yet. I'm reading a mag, but I will watch it when it comes on.
Just met them. They're feeling pretty confused about things.
I'd be confused if I've just won £2 million. You've got to take charge.
You wouldn't. You'd be shopping.
No, I wouldn't, actually. I think it's really important that they invest this money in property before they get a chance to shop it all away. It's down to you, Phil. I'm not there. I'm really sorry I'm not. But you've got to rein them in. You've got to be tough. You've got to safeguard their winnings for the future.
Well, that's me told.
Despite the new bank balance, Roger's budget is a strict 650 grand. And they're looking for a luxury house somewhere around Boston Spa.
With lots of living space, large kitchen and bathroom, plus at least 4 bedrooms.
Scooping the jackpot will make them think they're invincible, and they'll have monumental expectations of what 650 grand will buy them.
But we've done bigger budget searches before, and the reality in this part of Yorkshire hurts. Property prices are sky high, so Roger needs to keep Lara on a tight rein, because it'll be easy to blow the lot.
I have to say, half of me sides with Roger. I think good on you, set your financial limits, stick to them, very sensible practice. But the other half of me, that sides with Lara, because I'm not convinced what they want is actually achievable within the budget that they've set.
First up, they're in the small village of Allsopp near Boston Spa, looking at a place that has great potential to be turned into the perfect home.
This is what we're coming to see.
Oh,
It's huge.
This unusual property is actually several houses in one. And with some judicious wall demolition, it would make a fantastic home and investment.
It has more space than they asked for, with 5 bedrooms and a stunning kitchen, plus loads of outbuildings to play in.
All this for £575,000.
Into the granary, I seem to remember somebody wanted a big kitchen.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Conservatory off to the side.
Oh, wow. This is a really nice room.
And then we come down a step into the oldest part of the granary.
I really like the house. To be honest, I don't like the area. Don't want just a post office and a pub. And the house isn't phenomenal enough for me to compromise.
Did you agree with that, Roger?
Yeah, I'd say that's my sentiment entirely.
Well, that's that. The space is perfect, but for Lara, location matters. Time for some moral support.
Help! Help! They're going to be trouble. Yeah, they've turned this one down because it's too quiet.
Well, maybe it is a bit quiet. I mean, she's not going to be satisfied with shopping in the post office, is she?
Well, thanks a lot. At least my next one's in Boston Spa, so they do know it well.
Yeah. Oh, no, I totally understand. It'd be driving me nuts. It's probably a good thing I'm not up there.
Boston Spa, here we come then. It's familiar territory to them, so surely they'll love this first property.
Here we are, right in the heartland of the village. Exactly where you want it to be.
Yeah.
And this is what you get for £500,000. Come see what you think.
Yeah.
Looks great.
This house does have most of what they need, with 3 reception rooms, 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
But it is much smaller than the last one. Mind you, at $495,000, it's also at a price that's going to appeal to Roger.
There's a lot of rooms, none of them are huge, and the space is quite flexible.
I think if Kirstie was here, I know I'd be talking to her about knocking down walls, to be perfectly honest.
You're absolutely right.
If Roger really is keen to use his money and not squander his winnings, then this should raise a smile. It's got investment potential and it's where they want to be.
I kind of like it. It has that sense of a hotel. It's a nice bathroom, Rog. It's nice and big. There's so much about it that I really like, and it feels nice. It feels nice in here.
In the past, when I've looked at houses, I thought, it's going to take me a lot of work to rip those cupboards out and I'll need to get a plaster in. But we could just go to a builder and say, these are the plans. You've got 6 months, go and do it. And then walk in and see it.
Part of it's laziness, you know. Because part of me just thinks, do you know what, I can't be bothered with all the fiff and the faff of getting builders in and architects and all that. I want it to be perfect, but
Roger,
what
are your thoughts on that?
I think the fiff and the faff, you get a house that you really want at the end. It's almost like you get to rebuild.
Yeah, so you're really into that, aren't you? Whereas I'm just like, oh, I'll move into a hotel till it's finished. Do you know what I mean?
Lottery winner.
I was like that before.
Yeah.
So Lara wants instant perfection. Well, hopefully I'll hit the jackpot with the next house. There's certainly no fiff and faff required here.
This semi-detached period house is within walking distance of the thriving market town of Wetherby, that's crammed with Lara-friendly shops.
It has loads of living space spread over 3 floors. Even better, we're still on the right side of Roger's budget.
The plus points of here is that we're 5 minutes walk into Wetherby and all the amenities and the things that you were really looking for.
Absolutely.
But actually stood here, which we won't do for any longer, it's a bit noisy.
Okay.
Check this out. There's the formal living room.
Wow. God, it's massive.
You wanted something that was big and spacious, and you wanted something that was close to amenities.
Yeah.
The trade-off was in the road, but you cannot hear it once you get in the house.
I like
I'm not convinced of what's going on.
I'm not convinced yet, if I was perfectly
He's
honest.
just, why?
I've got issues
Because
about
of the
that
road.
Yeah.
Put a big gate on the drive.
It's not so much that. It's that I could come and live here, and I've no problem. But I know you could come and live here because of the size of it, and in 6 months have a problem with that road.
I completely disagree.
Fine, that's fine. I have reservations at the moment.
Remember, I grew up on the main road, though.
Your reservations are based on what you think your wife may later on feel. He's second-guessing you.
Yeah, well, I disagree with him.
Lara may be sold, but Roger needs some convincing.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't like it.
Oh.
This couple have just won 1.8 million quid. They're richer than in their wildest dreams, but it doesn't make choosing a house any easier.
It's certainly like the best thing that we've seen, there's no question. There's lots of stuff to do in it. I'm still worried about the road, but maybe I'm starting to come around a bit, I don't know.
Somehow, Roger, I think you'll be back. Lara likes it so much that you'll have a fight on your hands over this one.
How are you feeling?
Bored. It's costing me a fortune in magazines, this.
What would your next step be?
Go for broke. Full bells and whistles, just get them to invest in some property.
I'll get onto it. Get yourself better, little wounded madam. See ya.
Kirstie has spoken. I'm going to up the ante, and this is the first search where I feel that pushing the budget up a little bit needn't be a deal breaker. This recently refurbished detached house is in Linton near Wetherby and is on the market for $675,000.
It's an affluent village, so they wouldn't feel out of place. The house has large sitting rooms and 4 bedrooms, a state-of-the-art kitchen and stylish bathrooms.
I love it, but will they?
You've got this kitchen, diner, heart of home, playroom.
I like it. There's something quite contemporary and a bit cool about this place.
When I first came in here, I said to myself, it's a lottery winner's house. This is where a lottery winner should live.
I get that. It is rock and roll.
But Lara is finding that life isn't all a bed of roses when you win the lottery.
I'm kind of intrigued as to how all of a sudden, out of nowhere, having a couple of £1 million up your sleeve changes things for you.
Because you know it's the opportunity of a lifetime and you're not going to get that money again. It needs to be put in the right place. We haven't argued for about 4 or 5 years, and we've had arguments about how to deal with the money, whether to spend it, whether to not spend it, what we should spend it on, what we should save. It's incredibly stressful.
And you can bet Roger's tight hold on the purse strings hasn't helped.
If you don't mind me saying so, you've looked quite a worried man as we've gone round these.
Yes.
Whereas Lara seems to be, she's firing up, saying, you do this, do that.
I think I'm notoriously bad at house hunting, I think, in the first place. I'm seeing these brilliant houses, but they're just not quite there for what I'm hoping to get for my money.
If I showed you something that was worth in excess of what you asked me to search within, but it was what you wanted, does that mean, therefore, that you'd consider it favourably?
I think to a certain point, yeah. You know, there's a certain limit that there's absolutely no way I could go past. But there's a certain limit that I would say, well, you know, if this is say £700,000, we've gone from my limit of 650 or 600 up to 700. If it's £700,000, but you get 9 out of 10 ticks.
Yeah.
And you know, you look at it and you think it's right, then it's worth the extra.
Okay, well, I'll remember that.
Poor Phil. Where am I when he really needs me?
This is what I've always wanted.
Oh, Roger! Oh my God!
If I won the lottery.
Oh, Lord in heaven above.
This is.
Can we live here? Do you know what? I completely get what you were saying downstairs about this is a lottery winner's house, because it is upstairs.
I'm struggling to read you two.
I'm struggling to read us. I don't get it either. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, do I like any of these houses? That's what I'm trying to get my head around. I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I could live in this, and I could live in the other one, but do I really like them? And that's what I'm having a real problem with today.
I really thought this luxurious house would be perfect for them, but it seems not. They're so confused. So let's head back into their comfort zone and their much-loved hometown of Boston Spa. I've got one last throw of the dice.
This is what a little bit more money gets you in Boston Spa.
It's a large, detached house with real grandeur. It has drawing rooms and dining rooms to die for, a kitchen and 6 bedrooms.
It's a stunning house with the rock and roll vibe they're after, and it's precisely where they want to be. But at 715 grand, it's more dosh than Roger wants to part with.
Oh my God.
Rog?
Yeah.
I want to live here.
Okay, break it to me gently. Whisper.
How much is it?
It's 715,000.
It's a lot bigger and better than the last house, in my opinion.
For where it is.
For the little bit extra that it is.
What do you think about being back in Boston Spa?
I'm thrilled to be back in Boston Spa. I love Boston Spa, and as much as I love Linton, I guess we know this area, and this is really spacious. It seems much bigger and better than the last one, to be honest.
I started this search. I will not go over 650. I will not spend all their money. I will not encourage them to spend more money. But I know how much you love Boston Spa.
Yeah.
And I also know that you chose your last house 18 months ago thinking that's where we're going to live. So I feel that we can come and look at this.
Definitely.
We should come and look at this because it's where you wanted it to be, where you've always wanted to live, where you've always wanted to see out your days here.
Yes, absolutely.
This is the master bedroom
Wow.
with its lottery winners ensuite.
Dual sinks. It doesn't come any more classy than that now, does it?
Suitable, Lara?
Yep.
Yep. Roger, get any choice?
Nope.
Nope.
Lara's bowled over, and this time even Roger looks pretty impressed. Maybe I've struck gold at last.
It's huge.
It's more money than they wanted to spend, but it's where they wanted to be, and they wanted a big house.
Wow, look.
It's a beautiful, beautiful house. And it's an incredible sort of like house to think about actually moving into. But I expected this to have been really professionally decorated and all that. And I'm not saying that it's far from that, but it's going to need us to do something on top. And that kind of extra on top is just making me a little bit edgy about it.
Roger is bothered by the budget.
That's really nice. It's cute.
But property is a much better investment than handbags.
I have to say, standing here talking to you now, I can see this being my house. And it's giving me a very nice, warm, tingly feeling.
It's giving him palpitations.
A small heart attack, I think.
Things are no clearer. They have to try and focus their minds overnight. Well, they've decided the Boston house is too expensive after all. And surprise, surprise, they want to see the Weatherby house again.
Lara loved this on the first viewing and Roger's caved in, despite the busy road.
The last time we were here, it was the peak of rush hour. Things were a bit quieter this time of day, but still a busy road.
Yep.
Roger, I've got to look at you for a response here. That was your issue before.
It was, and I think it was rush hour and it was busy, and it is a lot quieter now, so I've got an open mind today, very open mind.
She's smiling. Come on.
But will Roger's change of heart extend to the inside of the house?
Thinking back to your original brief to me was a big kitchen. Now that's not a big kitchen.
No, it's not, I know.
It can be improved because we could open up the wall.
How much would that cost?
4,000 or 5,000.
I would have said that would have been one of the things that I'd have looked at doing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because it's a hub.
Personally, I think it would actually enhance the value of the house because there's a lot more house hunters that I meet that want the big kitchen and that don't necessarily want a formal dining room.
There's been a bit of a role reversal. Roger likes the house now, but Lara doesn't seem quite so enamoured.
I can't get past the ensuite.
What do you mean? Hasn't got one?
Yeah.
Is that the issue?
Yeah, isn't that pathetic?
It would be possible, and I'm doing it in my own house.
Okay.
To cut through this wall and put your dressing room and ensuite in that bedroom.
Would it?
Yeah, absolutely. No problem at all.
So how many...
You've got your family bathroom in there. You punch through this wall.
Yeah.
Blocking that door up that you're just walking in.
So that's no longer there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We walk through an area of cupboards both sides. Back to the bathroom, which has the window at the back.
That makes it perfect. I'm a happy lady.
Yeah?
But is Roger a happy man?
If you've dealt with a road and you still stand firm by you want a big house, you don't want to spend too much money, we're stood on the right one.
He's right. I'm going to leave you and marry him.
I think his wife would be too pleased. I'm comfortable with it.
Well, 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 wonders will never cease. Comfortable means Roger likes it, and likes it enough to buy it.
It's a great house and a wise investment for all that cash.
Come on then, team, we'll get ourselves somewhere a bit more comfortable. Maybe put a drink in front of us and sort this out. We notice I'm drinking tea, because this is where it gets a bit serious, isn't it? House is on the market at 595,000. 595 is a guide. That's an asking price. I would like to see you buying that house for 575, 580.
I think you need to do it. I want you to do it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what price. And I'm thinking 570.
Okay. We just go with it and see what happens.
Roger and Lara are in a fantastic position to buy. But even so, we still have to negotiate hard and get Roger the best deal.
Paul, good evening. It's Phil Spencer here. And I'm pleased to say that they do want to make an offer on your house. The price that we've arrived at is $570,000. Yes, please. That would be great. Bye. The greatest killer of property deals is time.
I know.
You want momentum from the start. So the moment we agree terms, right, solicitors in touch, send us a contract, get a survey done, bosh, get it done. Hello, Phil Spencer. Hello, Paul. Paul, can I just put you on hold? Because I'm actually sat with them, and that seems very fair to me. They will take it off the market, they'll put a sold sign up, and nobody else will walk through the door if you'll pay the 575.
Is that guaranteed?
That is guaranteed. It seems to me pretty fair dues.
Well, it kind of fake thing work, isn't it?
Happy?
Yep.
That's a deal, Paul. Cheers, bye.
Well, you're quite good at this, aren't
I
you?
thought he was going to say, oh, you know...
I thought the price had gone up if it was taking that long.
I'm absolutely thrilled to bits.
A fantastic result. We've bagged the right house and it's at the right price. But there's a lesson to be learned here. If you're lucky enough to have a windfall, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So don't squander it. Tread carefully. Because if you don't, you'll be right back where you started. This week, we're using our wisdom and experience to guide a couple of investors through the property jungle in one of the country's hotspots, East London.
I want you to go and have a look around and make sure you're registering exactly what you're turning down. This week, we're chasing the Olympic dream.
We're helping two best mates find a profitable pad in London's trendy East End.
Thereafter, a property investment which will turn their precious coppers into solid gold.
Rosie Everett and Laura Coveney have been friends since childhood and are renting a flat together in Hackney, East London.
Both 25, they're really enjoying their London life, but have to live on a very tight budget as they're both just starting out on their careers. Laura in PR and Rosie in advertising.
Weekends are often spent hunting for clothes at charity shops.
I really like bargains. I'm just one of those people that's a bargain shopper. I go to the sale rail straight away. Because we normally save skin and we can't afford to go to normal shops. Yeah.
Now the girls want a bargain property. That's where we come in.
Rosie recently inherited a small windfall, but instead of blowing it on a holiday or new clothes,
she and Laura very sensibly intend to use it as a building block to buy a property in East London.
I think we've always wanted to live together. It's kind of like a thing, you know, we'll get a flat together, buy a flat together. And then about 3 or 4 months ago, we kind of just mentioned it to each other.
Yeah, it was like something in passing. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, should we buy a house?
Buy a house.
Yeah, okay then.
Pooling their resources is the only way the girls can get onto the property ladder and make the most of their money.
But even with Rosie's inheritance, a loan from Laura's parents and a mortgage, their maximum budget of 220 grand won't go far in the capital.
It's still only just enough. It's really kind of hit us that what we thought was quite a good budget actually really doesn't get you that far.
It's all about making their money work for them, and we reckon East London's the best bet, as they're familiar with the area and it's undergoing a huge facelift thanks to the 2012 Olympics in nearby Stratford. The eyes of the world are going to be on this very spot. Between now and then, the billions of pounds that are going to be invested into East London are going to transform the entire area.
And the developers are moving in fast. House prices have already risen by up to 15% in just 4 months. So Rosie and Laura need to get their skates on or be left at the starting block. We need to make sure they spend their money wisely.
What were you up to at 25, Phil?
I was a student. I did my surveying degree.
I'd been in my first flat 4 years by the time I was 25. But nowadays, that's like saying you got married when you're 21. It's so rare.
Oh, God for you. What, these two?
Hi.
Obviously at home and expecting us.
Yeah.
You better tell us what it is we're looking for. You've been out and seen quite a few already.
We have. Yeah. I've seen about 20, I reckon. And we're basically looking for... I would love a house. I know that's really pushing it. 2 double bedrooms if possible.
Yeah.
That's a must, actually.
Yeah, no, it is a must, yeah.
'Cause this flat we're renting unfurnished, so we have all the furniture in it, so we both have a double bed.
Yeah.
I don't think one of us would want a single.
No.
That's one thing.
It is so the way to do it, friends teaming up, at a young age as well, because you can get on the ladder early, you can get it on the ladder in a place that you're very unlikely to be able to afford on your own. So it is absolutely top-class stuff.
Everyone keeps saying as well that, you know, what if one of you gets a boyfriend, or, you know, one of you wants to move out, or
What have
sell
you?
up,
I mean, what have
or
you
anything.
decided about that?
Well, we haven't actually. We've discussed it, haven't we?
It's a good idea to set out a contract and address issues like boyfriend, one of you wanting to sell up, perhaps one of you being given a job abroad and wanting to rent the room, and who would you rent your room to, and would one of you be forced to live with a stranger?
I can honestly say all the things that have been said to us, I really honestly think we would never, ever, ever argue about them.
Everybody thinks that. Everyone who gets married thinks they'll never get divorced.
That's true.
Nobody walks down the aisle thinking, I'm going to be divorced.
Ever the optimist, Kirst?
Well, Cloud Cuckoo Land can be a lonely place, Phil. With a budget of £220,000, the girls would love a house, although a flat is more likely.
Either way, it must have 2 double bedrooms and be light and spacious.
Here we are, madam.
They got their head screwed on.
Yeah, they have. A bit naive, but definitely the right approach.
I think that wish list for 220 is going to remain that, a wish list.
Second double bedroom's going to be always a hard one.
I know. But you'll sort them out, Phil, and
I will.
something tells me you'll enjoy doing it.
I'll take a firm hand with these two.
Our search is centred around the borough of Hackney, between the City of London and the Olympic site.
Now, most of the games will be in the new stadium and around the Olympic Village being built near Stratford.
The trick is to be close to this area to benefit from the massive redevelopment of roads and public transport, but not too close. There is going to be some serious building work going on.
The girls like living in their bit of Hackney, so our first port of call is a flat undergoing conversion nearby.
It's in Clapton, an area that's ideally situated to benefit from the Olympic effect.
It's on a busy road, but the plus side is that it's on several bus routes into the city and West End, and there's a park right opposite.
The flat has a good-sized sitting room and separate kitchen, bathroom and 2 bedrooms.
It's on the market for $220,000, which is at the top end of their budget, but a deal could probably be struck if the girls like it.
This is a property which is halfway through being developed, and I think it's very attractive.
I think we're also in a spot that's going to benefit hugely from the Olympics.
The girls could put their own individual stamp on an unfinished flat like this, but will the layout be right for them?
Come through here to the kitchen, which for a relatively small flat is a very generous kitchen.
Really good size. It's fine, isn't it?
First impressions?
Yeah, it's
I really like
so
it.
much
It's really
better.
light and airy, which I like, and it feels spacious, isn't it?
Yeah.
So far, so good.
But will the girls be happy about the different sized bedrooms?
And this is where the arguments begin.
Okay, so
This is really
smaller
small.
one.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have 2 bedrooms that both fit in,
Yeah.
a double bed and a wardrobe.
Does this room cancel out the flat?
Yes, for me it
I
does.
think it does. I'm afraid. I just can't see a double bed and a wardrobe fitting in here with it.
It's fine.
Fine.
I've let Phil go ahead and show the girls the next flat. I get the feeling I need to widen the search a bit.
Well, this next flat scores well on the bedroom front. But first things first, the location.
We're in Bethnal Green, closer to central London. It offers a more secure investment as the whole area has become incredibly fashionable and sought after in the last few years.
It's staggering distance from the bars and restaurants of Brick Lane, and it has great tube and bus links. Plus, look at those city views.
Mind you, it is on a large estate, and for many house hunters this would be a no-no, but much of this is privately owned and would be a cracking investment.
I fully appreciate it's not what you had in mind. Outside, but inside as well worth a look.
Okay.
Buying ex-local authority flats can be a good option for people on a tight budget. Being purpose-built, they offer excellent, well-proportioned rooms and value for money.
This maisonette is immaculately presented, if a bit on the colourful side, and very spacious, with kitchen, sitting room, bathroom and 2 good-sized double bedrooms.
On the market for $205,000, it's well under their budget.
Head through into the kitchen, and you'll see that it's very cool and trendy.
Yeah,
You look absolutely terrified.
No, No, I'm open-minded.
You sure? Can you give it an open mind or not?
I have to be honest, it's difficult coming into what we've just come into. I mean, it is nice, but it doesn't take away from the fact that that's where it is.
I wonder, is it even worth showing them upstairs?
Perfectly nice bedroom, but I don't want it to be my bedroom. Basically.
I can see what's going on, and I do have the greatest sympathy. If this was considered a scuzzy and nasty and cheap place to live, it wouldn't be on the market at 205,000.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, these fly off the shelves. People are wanting to live here.
It's a big location thing, isn't it?
We're trying to fit a triangle, a jigsaw, between space, location and budget. And we've just got to find the right fit to suit you guys. We've got to find you the right place to start with. We're stood on the wrong one, aren't we?
I think so, yes.
Right. I can handle it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Sadly, although this would make a good investment for the girls, they obviously don't feel happy about living on a large estate, however attractive the financial return.
There is now no doubt that security is paramount. But living in an ex-local authority flat would be a great investment for the girls. And I think I've got a fantastic property that Rosie and Laura will love.
It's in Stoke Newington, a bit further away from the Olympic zone, but will still make a great investment.
And nearby Dalston is due to benefit from the East London Tube and Rail link by 2010.
Now, we're not looking at one of these Victorian cottages.
Okay.
We're looking at a ground floor flat over there.
Okay.
Well done, Kirstie. This flat's a perfect first-time buy and a totally different proposition from the Bethnal Green property.
Most of these are privately owned.
Right.
The building is ex-local authority and it's no beauty, but it's situated on one of Stoke Newington's prime streets, and it's better to be the worst house on the best street than the best house on the worst street.
It's a stone's throw from trendy Church Street, and for comparison, a 3-bed house on this road recently sold for 430 grand.
The flat is really spacious with a large sitting room, eat-in kitchen and 2 great double bedrooms and bathroom.
All this for 210,000, 10 under budget, but will they go for it?
It feels so different being outside.
It does feel really different.
What you guys need to be thinking about is the attractions of living where this flat is versus some of the drawbacks about being in an ex-local authority building that you don't like the architecture.
There's something about walking into that initial area with the concrete staircase that's just it's a little bit depressing.
The kitchen will win them over.
When I came in here, I thought, this is like, we're in a new build house.
Lovely.
Yes.
Really nice size.
I think the problem is that the kitchen is probably less important than having 2 bedrooms that we love. And I don't love those bedrooms.
I think what's going on here is that you still have your heads in rental mode. I see that you probably don't want this flat.
No,
wait, let me wait.
Gun.
No, I know, I'm not jumping the gun. 11 seconds, Phil. But I want you to go and have a look around and make sure you're registering exactly what you're turning down in terms of space, layout and location.
Yeah.
You tell them, Kirstie. They're being blind to the obvious. This is a fantastic opportunity and it won't be bettered in terms of location or investment.
This is nice. There's just something that doesn't make me go, yes, I love it. Or, it's exactly what we're looking for.
That's the thing that's a bit odd because it is kind of exactly what we're looking
Yeah. They're still in teenage mode. They just want a nice pad with big bedrooms.
Well, reality is 220 doesn't get them that here.
No, it doesn't get them that virtually anywhere.
As much as I want a bargain, I don't think I can move into next local, Laura. I don't know why.
for. We've got a prejudice, I think. But I think it's a consideration because at the end of the day, this is what we're doing it for, an investment to get on the property ladder.
Just quick, how much is it on for?
It's on the market at 210,000.
Okay.
Thought-provoking?
It is really thought-provoking because at the end of the day it is an investment.
Maybe a change of heart. Maybe we'll be back after all.
So we've got to come up with something pretty quick because it's getting harder to find anything decent with their budget of £220,000.
Well, beauty is skin deep. But since they were put off by the outside of the ex-local authority Stoke Newington flat, we need to show them a flat on a privately built estate of similar proportions and budget.
If we show them a like for like, then they can make a proper comparison.
And we're up on the top level.
This flat is back in the Olympic property hotspot of Clapton, and overlooks Hackney Downs. It has a sitting room, kitchen, 2 good bedrooms, a bathroom, and is priced at £210,000.
It's within a private estate and is a 5-minute stroll to the nearest bus stop.
It, to me, feels a little overpriced. The fact that it's on at the same figure as the flat in Stoke Newington, it just makes me think,
It's not as big in terms of square footage as the Stoke Newington flat. So that's in a better area, it's a better layout, it's a bigger flat, but it's ex-local. Here we are, we've got away from the ex-local. I know it was something you were mildly concerned about, but we got a smaller flat at the same price in a weaker area.
Yeah. It's funny because that is true, but I get a nicer feeling from this flat.
Go and have a look at the bedrooms.
Okay. I do like the living space.
It's a lovely flat, but I'm not sure it's the best location for these two.
This view is absolutely
The view
stunning.
is lovely. It's nice to look at. Would you want to walk in it?
It wouldn't worry me, but I'm not.
You're quite a large bloke.
Thanks.
Anyone who decides to muck with you has got to have their wits about them, Phil.
True, very true indeed.
Because it's high up, it is really light, which I like.
Laura's also picked up on my concern about the park.
Maybe this is like a bit of a ridiculous concern, would be when we do finish late at night walking along that park for safety issues.
I think it's a valid point.
So the location here probably counts this one out. We're not getting very far with these two.
Rosie and Laura have seen 4 flats so far. Sadly, none has really come up to their expectations. So we're going to have to up the budget a little and go for wow factor.
So we're going for broke with this stunning period conversion flat in Clapton, which might just do the trick.
It's been done up to the highest standards and has a huge sitting room, 2 good-sized bedrooms, study, modern kitchen and bathroom.
It's on at $235,000, well over their budget, but we might be able to do a deal.
It's massive. Really nice.
That's a better reaction, girls.
I can actually kind of see us here. It feels like a house.
Like a really big step on from where we are.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it?
This is bedroom 1. Currently, the vendor uses this solely as a bedroom and then the other room as a dressing room, but it is a double room, absolutely.
Okay.
And it's
Really good
large,
size,
isn't it?
yeah.
Is there a wow factor for you with this flat?
To me, there is. It just feels so spacious. Like we wouldn't be on top of each other. You know, it feels like a home.
I agree, totally, yeah.
Okay.
So, bedrooms all right?
Really good. Both really good sizes.
Yeah.
Airy, spacey. Nice.
Kitchen follows the same theme. Very contemporary, very slick.
It is.
I think it's fair to say that there is quite a lot of value tied up in the finish of this flat. Someone spent a lot of money on it, and they're wanting some of that as profit. But we are in E5, which of all the postcodes, this is the one that is predicted to benefit most from the Olympics.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's definitely my favourite.
It would be your favourite because it's the most expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's their favourite now, but will this flat go the distance?
It's way over their budget, so I hope they think long and hard overnight and don't let their hearts rule their heads. Next day, not surprisingly, Rosie and Laura tell us they want to return to the smart conversion flat. But much to our surprise, they also say they want to have a look around Stoke Newington, so we meet them there.
That's a turnaround. They've realised the error of their ways.
They've obviously seen sense. At 210 grand, this flat's easily affordable.
I'm not sure we made enough fuss of this kitchen when we came the first time. It's really big. It's totally done for you. Gas cooker, space for washing machine, space for a decent sized fridge. There's a lot of storage and it's hugely light.
Yeah. I definitely don't feel as opposed to it the second time round.
I actually like the flat better this time than the first time we saw it.
Is that because you've enjoyed the environment on the walk, or you've seen some worse things over the last few days?
Bit of both, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no doubt in my mind this is the more practical option. If you ever did go separate ways and decide to keep hold of it as a rental investment, this would rent every day of the week, every year. Tenants aren't worried about the aesthetics of a building. They want a flat that's easy to live in.
Yeah.
They appear much more inclined towards this flat today, but will it triumph over the stylish Hackney conversion?
What's going through your minds as we come back here? What are you here to learn?
Well, as we came in the door, we said, should we run away now? Because it's all a bit too difficult.
We just wanted to do a runner.
Do a runner, yeah, basically. Obviously, you know, the flat is lovely when you walk into it. It has a nice feeling. It has that feeling of space.
I think from seeing the other one, though, again, has almost taken something away from this
Yes,
flat.
definitely, because
it doesn't feel so unbalanced anymore. It feels more on a par. We would probably, in an ideal world, actually like to do something to the house that we move into. And here, it's almost done to someone else's taste so much that really, if we moved in, it'd almost be like moving into someone else's house.
There may well be an argument also that this flat is slightly overdeveloped for its area. It's on at 235, so even if you could get it for 220, it would still be a toppish flat. And all the talk of this area going up is not based on flats which are already at the top of their area. Is it better to buy the worst in the best street or the best in the worst street?
Yeah.
And that is an ongoing property argument. And this is definitely the best in the worst street. This is a really tough decision for Rosie and Laura, and they look so tense. It's hard to compare two totally different properties.
It's a bit of a couple's flat, isn't it?
I feel like I'm going against everything that I actually think, because I would never really, you know, aspire to buy next local. And I didn't particularly want him in Stoke Newington.
We meet up again after they've had chance to reach a conclusion.
You two look absolutely dumbstruck.
We might look like that, but we have made quite a definite final decision.
Quite a definite
Well,
final.
a very.
Very. This is authoritative
That
job.
was very.
We had a discussion after going into the period conversion, and although it's a really, really lovely flat and we do love it, it's not for us.
It's the right decision. It was a decision that we hoped that you would make. Stoke Newington, it's a very safe investment. You will make money on that flat, no two ways about it. So what would you like to pay for it? It's on the market at 210,000. Kirstie and I think that 205, 206 is probably the eventual purchase price.
Right.
So it's a question of whether you want to chance our arm a little beneath that, or we go in at 205 and try and tie it up quickly.
My immediate reaction would be to chance it.
Fine. You're making good decisions all round, girls. That would be my reaction. 203.
203.
Yeah.
Just chance
Okay.
it.
Why not?
Go in at 203 and see if you can get it accepted.
Hello, can I speak with Kate, please? Please say the girls do want to make an offer on your property. They are prepared to pay 203,000 for the flat. Sharp intake of breath from the other end. Yes, I did hear that. Excellent, thank you very much. Cheers, bye. There was a sharp intake of breath.
I can hear it.
He's looking for more money. But, you know, that's the game, and we'll play it.
Our strategy may work. The girls might just get a great deal here.
Hello, Phil Spencer. Hi, Kate. Hi. Well, I'm with the girls right now, so why don't I just ask them and we'll try and settle this up. He's looking for 205 and he would give exclusivity were you to stretch another 2,000. Do you think you could?
Okay, fine. Okay.
Probably that's the bottom line.
Okay.
205, Kate, we have a deal. Offers on the table, properties off the market. Excellent. Good news all round. Congratulations, you two.
It feels right.
Does it?
You're so calm about it. I know.
And a few months later, Laura and Rosie finally moved in.
We're really happy we chose this flat in the end, because although we were sort of deliberating between this one and the other Victorian flat, but this is just a totally different lifestyle.
To me, it feels absolutely perfect.
So, right decision, right flat. We just love it when a plan comes together.